What is up, guys? Jake here with the next morning Vainglory video. All your questions being answered. Hopefully you enjoy a little bit of gameplay in the background. Hopefully one of your questions gets picked. If not, leave me questions for future videos. I will do my best to answer them going forward. So let's get started. Sleepy Kraken. Morning Glory question. When starting off in Vainglory, what is the best way to find people to play with or find a guild? I would say the forums. Vainglory does have a forum just like Clash did. It's I'll look it up here, but you can type it in forums.vainglorygame.com. I would start there. Now, who knows what will happen in the future if it'll be better ways, but that's where I would go for it because it is more fun to have a guild and have some friends, but also friend people in the game. If you play a game with someone and y'all synergized well, or you thought they were a good player, and weren't a troll or anything like that, friend them up, talk to them, say, hey, let's run, you want to group up. And a lot of times friendships and people that you just play with are formed that way. So just do it naturally, and then you can obviously search it out on the forums. Giovanni Ligori, how do you know which heroes counter other heroes? If you want to know this stuff, well, where should I look for? Again, different things like the forums or Vainglory Fire.com, Vainglory Fire or something like that. There's different websites that people post on and talk about Vainglory. But YouTube's a great thing. Watching streamers. A lot of times you'll catch people talking about it. You'll see in my videos the reasons I picked this person over that person in a draft is because it counters them. But also just playing. Know what you struggled against. If you're playing a Cruel and a Sky comes in and just wrecks your world early game, then hey, that's a pretty good counter, right? So learn from that, learn from your matches, and go forward that way. But there are a lot of resources out there that sort of give you an idea, at least, of good counters. I will try to cover that more in future videos as well. That's a good question, though. Calgary Sparky. Hey Jake, my question is, when you are using a chat app to communicate with your team, is it running on your tab or do you have it open in a separate machine? My guildmates and I would like to start using in-game chat for better coordination. Keep up all the awesome videos. I'm assuming you're talking about voice communication. And you can do it either way. I personally use it most of the time I'll sit in front of my computer, I've got my headset on, my microphone there, and I have my iPad, in my lap. You can run it in the background, Discord that is. One we tend to use is Discord. You can run it on the same device, or if you have your phone, maybe you can put you have your iPad you're playing on, have your phone next to you with some earbuds in. You can do it that way as well, but you can run it on the same device you're playing Vainglory on. So check out Discord if you have not. Scouting 144, favorite/least favorite metas. When I got that question, I was trying to think about it, and I kind of went back to like 111 when the Fortress Koshkaringo was so strong, and I hated that. But honestly, the answer that popped in my mind is I actually don't like metas, period. I think that's why the last two patches have been really, really good patches in my opinion, and I hope Super Evil Megacorp continues to work towards that balance to where there is no real meta. I mean, I was always going to be strong heroes that people are picking up, but if there is a meta and that's what everyone's after, that's not fun. No one wants to see the same competitions over and over. What you want to see is the variation of competitions and the fact that certain comps might counter other comps better than others, but that nothing is just overpowered to where it's just a race. Can I get to this comp? Can I get to this overpowered hero? Because that's not fun, and that's not what I want to see. I doubt that's what you people want to see, and I know it's not what SCMC wants to see. So hopefully going forward, there's less and less quote-unquote meta and more just balance. So that's what we're all after. Mark. Too much shit to learn on this game. I've played like 20 times and watched tons of videos, and I still feel like I don't know anything about it. Who goes weapon power? Who to go crystal? Do you even get both weapon and crystal? I understand your frustration, but 20 times, if you really want to get good at the game, you need to play it hundreds, if not thousands of times. I've got over 500 wins, and that's not a lot on an account. There's people out there with 5,000 wins on an account. So you need to really dive into the game and play it. Keep playing it. Yes, there are certain heroes that need to go weapon power and crystal power, and I try to put out some hero build videos. I need to do more of those, I know. But read on them. Take some time going to the practice mode and actually read their abilities. See what they do. Look at the crystal power ratios and the weapon power ratios, and it should give you a pretty good idea of what heroes sort of favor which builds. But sounds like you just need to play the game more. I mean, honestly, 20 games, that's nothing. Some people play that in a couple days. So really sort of dive into the game if you want to get good at it, you want to improve, you'll get there, I promise. Max Johnston. Hey Jake, would you start a VG series similar to your COC Hitchhiker series to highlight guilds for high elo players who want to learn? I think it'd be fantastic for you to use your channel as an outlet in this way. I struggle to find good guilds. I think that is a fabulous idea. The only problem is I'm really not known well enough in the Vainglory community just yet. Hopefully I get there to where guilds will maybe potentially come and want to do that. Good guilds. Right now, that probably wouldn't be the case. You know, if I asked any of the quality guilds out there, hey, I want to come feature your, run some attacks with your clan or your guild mates or your, stuff like that, it just wouldn't probably happen just yet. But I will keep that in mind and maybe do something like that going forward. Jane Lang. Who has the best poke in the game? I think right now Scarf. I don't think there's any real debate about it. I haven't heard anybody else that would think anything else, but maybe there are people that think something else. But to me, Scarf is just incredibly powerful from the very first time she spits that Spitfire out to the last. It's just so strong. It's nasty. It's the range on it is just absurd. So I would say Scarf personally. Scott Folsom. One other question, if Battle Royale is portrayed as a short game mode for a quick bite-sized VG session, do you think SEMC will make it a solo queue for it? We have an active guild, but it takes time to get 6 people together for a BR match, which kills the quick idea. Will BR make it esports in your opinion? Yeah, in case you didn't know, they have already announced that that Battle Royale will be a solo queuable game mode, I think in the next update, but if not, definitely in the next couple of updates. As far as it going to esports, definitely not. Definitely not. The randomization factor is just, you can't do that. And obviously, I think their focus is solely on their game mode to make that the best esport possible, which I think is the right move. You don't want a 6-minute match in an esport environment, in my opinion. There's not enough strategy in there. There's not enough chance to, one mistake could be it type thing. And people don't want to watch that. I think it's fun and it's going to be fun and it's going to be something that you can play. I think duo, whatever, queue up and grab a battle royale. So that's coming for sure, but I wouldn't look for it in the esports scene. Matthew Mansfield, Morning Glory question. One, best way to keep your cool with a rage pinger and not just throw the match to spite them. 2, should SCMC do away with the ping, the question mark ping? No, because there is a use for it. People don't use it for that, but the use for it is when the laner is in the lane and the junglers are down there maybe at the shop, and all of a sudden he loses vision on the laner. He doesn't, he could be rotating down, and they could get caught in a 2v3. That's what the ping is for. I don't know where the laner's at. He's not up here. If someone is rage pinging you, though, you can mute them. In case you didn't know it, you go into the team section, the score section, to where you can see people's builds and you see the thing. And there's a little thing beside there, of both of your teammates' names, a little bubble, a little chat bubble, and you can click on it and mute them to where you don't see any more of their pings. So if someone's really abusing it, just mute them, just ignore them, play the game best you can, don't throw. No one wants to win or wants to lose, but just try your best and ignore them and move on. Hopefully, give them a thumbs down for rude pings, and hopefully they get banned and you don't have to deal with that anymore. Martin Rivera, MG question, do you think you'll make it to Vainglorious this year? This year, I would hope so. I mean, this season plus 2 more. I know I'll hit POA this season, so that's a foregone conclusion. I'm already like halfway through SA Gold. So I really feel like I'm going to hit POA this season. So 2 more seasons to get to Vainglorious. I hope so. I think it's definitely a attainable goal. So we'll see. I would like to think I will. Nerd BJ, one of my regulars on the streams there, is Aftershock the ideal damage item for support hero? Also, if you're getting snowballed, how do you recover? Interesting question because they're really opposed to each other. Yes, I would say if you're on a support player and you want to get that extra damage, in most scenarios, Aftershock's an ideal choice for it. Now, because you get some reuse for it, you get a lot, it's a good sort of swing ability or item there. The problem is, if you're getting snowballed and you're behind, I would never recommend doing it. If you're ahead, it's a good choice because it just sort of compounds the effect. If you're getting ahead, your carries have more items, better items, and you're doing more damage. And then all of a sudden, you throw a little extra burst damage on top of that. It can really get out of hand quickly. But if you're behind, definitely go more defense, go more things like Crucible, Fountain, Warhorn, something to try to help your team maybe get in or out of a good position or save them, block something, go straight defense, be as tanky as you can be if you're behind. How to recover from a snowball, play smart, don't get caught out. If they're controlling your jungle, try to be at your jungle when it spawns. Don't be fighting 10 seconds before your jungle spawns. It's okay to disengage, to run away. And just try to be there when your jungle spawns, get it back. Let the lane push towards you. Don't overextend in the lane. Farm close to your turret where you can retreat and get away from them. Don't give them those easy kills that allow them, okay, now they just took our whole jungle. We got to come back up and we have nothing to farm. We have nothing to do. We can't fight. Try to play to where you're not dying. You're taking what farm you can get. Pick your spot when you feel like you've hit that maybe a little bit of a power spike. Maybe your laner picks up that next tier 3 item, or you pick up that next tier 3 item. Maybe you can infuse up and just try to catch them. Try to want to fight and get your footing back under you. Sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes you can't recover from a snowball. But if you play it smart, there's always that chance. Last one for this video is Tyler Krasny. Morning VG, at what point do you think the game simply cannot add more heroes? After a certain point, too many heroes becomes either repetitive or cluttersome. Where do you see the game going after it reaches this point? New maps, modes, etc. That's an interesting question. I don't think Vainglory is anywhere near that. I know that some MOBAs have like 100 heroes. They're a little over 20. But I think they've done a really good job of not replicating, not just repackaging the same hero in a little bit different form. I mean, you look at people like Alpha and even Ryan. These heroes that are coming in are completely different than anything else out there, and they changed the way the game is played. So I think as long as they continue to do that, they're in pretty good shape, and they got a lot of creative people over there. I think they can do it for a while. Now, at some point, yes, I think you will see new maps. I think you will see new game modes, but honestly, some of that is probably waiting on technology to catch up, to where they've got these great ideas, but can the mobile device handle it? They've already said as much with some of even the hero skins. So, give it a year or two. I think Vainglory will be something amazing in the next few years. So we'll see what all they come up with. All right, guys, great questions. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me more for future videos. Until then, Jake, doing my best to help you guys suck less.